Hi, everyone. Welcome to the mid-month meeting of the minds by PlansConnect. My name is Swati Shah, and today I have here Dr. Charuba Prabakar from California, and she is amazing at what she's done. And I'm going to let her introduce herself a little bit here and talk about what she does.
All right. Thank you so much, Swati, for having me on here. So I'm Dr. Prabakar. I'm a board certified OBGYN and a fellowship trained minimally invasive surgeon, which is just a very fancy way of saying that I do a lot of robotic and laparoscopic surgeries for women who need them. And I was in corporate medicine for many years out here in the West Coast, and finally left and started my own solo private practice in the Bay Area, which has been an amazing journey. And I've been in the process of just building my dream business as well as my dream life. I have three little kids, and along with my husband and them, we live out here. And at a time, I think, where so many doctors are talking about being burnt out and leaving medicine, or even being let go. I just heard a couple of OBGYNs in my area who said, "Hey, I was just let go from my job," which is sort of unheard of for doctors. So in a time like that, I'm just forging my own path here and want to inspire others along the way. So that's just a little bit about me, and I'm excited to talk.
That's what's so inspiring. I mean, there are so many skills we physicians have, and we're not really encouraged anymore to go into private practice or solo practice. Many times over the years when I was in practice as an OBGYN, people would ask me, and to me it felt daunting because I didn't want to run my own business. Ironically, now I've started PlansConnect, which is my own business, but I'm not practicing medicine as my own business. So tell us a little bit about your passion and how you got into foraging your own path as a solo gynecologist. I think that's amazing.
Yes, thank you. So backing up a little bit, I grew up in the East Coast. So I grew up in Connecticut and trained in New York. And there was a lot of private practice around. So when I was growing up, I went to doctors who had their own private practices. And then when I was in OBGYN residency in Long Island, there were a lot of private practices. And when I talked to some of my friends from there now, they're like, yep, they're still around. And so it was a model that I saw thriving, and I thought, of course, this is what I would do. When I graduated, of course, I would just open up my practice. Um, well, after fellowship in New York, I actually moved out to California, and the climate here was just very different. It was a lot of corporate entities, so big institutions that kind of swallowed up private practices, to be honest. And the true private practice model that I was so used to, just I didn't see it anywhere here, and it was very disheartening. But I just took the first job that I could get, and there was a freezing hire to the year that I had applied, and so it was very hard to even find a job. So I found a job at a big, corporate place, and it was great for the years that I was there. Got a lot of experience, met a lot of interesting people, learned a lot about medicine, and also just being a good doctor, because it takes a while to actually perfect those skills and just hone them. And so, but as I started to have my kids, and my time demands were elsewhere as well, not just work. I just realized what a constricting model this was. There was very little flexibility. If I wanted to make a play at my child's school, I would have to cancel the whole afternoon, which would mean 15 patients, and then those 15 patients would have to find their way onto my schedule another time. It was just not a very it was not a lifestyle that was balanced, and one that made me feel like, yes, I could be a good mom, I could be a good wife, and a good doctor. um because the truth is, you want your doctor to be happy, you want your doctor to have slept well, you want your doctor to have a good balanced life, so that they can take care of you. And I just felt like that wasn't happening. And you're right, many people don't go into private practice because it is, I mean, it is, it's a big thing, you know, starting your own private practice and figuring out how to run a business. And I think the other problem is a lot of doctors don't really know how to run a business because that's not what we were taught. We were taught how to be good doctors. And with fewer and fewer people going into private practice, fewer and fewer people knew those skills. So that was really daunting, but I knew I needed a change. I knew there had to be a change, and I was not about to leave medicine. I put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money into this, and I love what I do. So it was like, how do I figure out, you know, how to make it happen? And then at that time, I came across the Entre MD Business School, which I'm not sure if you've heard of them, but it's led by a physician, Dr. Una, and she teaches doctors how to run profitable businesses. So I was like, oh, let me check that out. So I started that school. So it's essentially like a business education for doctors. And so that I started it just knowing that let me just see what this is all about. Let me see if, you know, do I have the skills to pull it off? And being part of a community where other people were doing similar things was super helpful. And I said, you know, what's the worst that can happen? Let me just start it. And, you know, if it doesn't work out, I just go back to corporate medicine. There's plenty of jobs now in corporate medicine. And so I started and I haven't looked back. I'm almost at year 3 now. And it's been just such a rewarding experience, clinically, business wise, professionally. And I just feel really fulfilled and lucky.
That's fantastic. So you've only started this about 3 years ago and
Yes.
thriving. You look happy,
Thank
and
you.
you say that you have a great work-life balance. What is your specialty in your practice? What do you offer that's unique? I know you're a minimally invasive gynecologic surgeon, but for those who don't know what that means, what do you tell your patients? I know
Yes.
you have a famous specialty.
Yes, yes. So many patients who come to see me are for two things. So number one is fibroids. Fibroids are my passion. I took care of a lot of women with fibroids in New York and really enjoyed it. And so I would say 40% of my practice is centered around fibroids and all the problems that come with fibroids. And then the second is menopause. So I am certified through the North American Menopause Society. And so I see a lot of patients for hormone therapy. And then I also see patients who just want a good doctor. So my tagline for my practice is boutique gynecologic care through all phases of life. And so our youngest patient is about 11 and our oldest is about 96. So everyone in between.
That is fantastic. Wow. So you're not just the fibroid doc. You've got everything covered, full
Yes,
range of gynecology services.
yes.
And can you share where your practice is? What town in California in the Bay Area?
Yes, so I'm in Lafayette, California. It's about a 25-minute drive to San Francisco. And our practice is unique because we actually have access. One of the things that I hear all the time from patients is, oh, I can't get an appointment with my gynecologist for another 6 months, but I'm having this problem. And then they find me because I can usually get them, you know, within a day or two, which is great. And so access and also just the time we spend, you know, in corporate medicine, I think many doctors spend 15 minutes with a patient because they have to see like 25 patients a day. In my practice, I see no more than 10. And so I spend almost 45 minutes with every single patient, which is great. And with GYN issues, it's such a personal thing, you know, so patients want to be able to talk to their doctor, spend time and not just feel like another number or feel like they're just getting generic care. So,
So true. Gynecology is a very personal practice. I mean, all of women's health is, but the fact that you're able to afford that time is beautiful. So, moving forward, how can patients or colleagues reach out to you? What other services are you available? I noticed on your LinkedIn you're a speaker.
yes, yes. So, that is something I'm really leaning into in this phase of my career. I really want to educate women on all of these health issues. So, I love speaking about fibroids, fertility, menopause. I also like to speak to groups about, entrepreneurship in medicine. It's become, I'm having fun doing it, and I would love to encourage others to do it. So love to speak about that. So if you're, and then if you're looking for medical services anywhere in California, Southern, Northern, you can always reach out to us. LaMorindagyn.com is our website. You can follow us on social media at the Fibroid Doc. And we can definitely see you in person or televisit if you're in LA, for example. And then if you just want a little more expertise on fibroids and you are anywhere in the world, we can do some fibroid coaching for you. So that is an hour session where we talk a little bit about fibroids and options for treatments. So I won't be quite serving as your doctor, but still just giving you a lot of information on fibroids, because again, women feel like they're asked to do a hysterectomy and they just don't have enough information. So, and that can be, you can be anywhere in the world for that. And lastly, I also love helping other doctors start their practices. So if you're kind of like, oh, that's cool, like I just don't know how she did it, I just want more information, where do I start? I've learned a lot in this journey. So also we do a practice design consult where I can just give you the top tips and tricks on how just to get started. So that's all of the things we offer, but definitely follow us on the Fibroid Doc on YouTube and Instagram. We'll have a lot of informational, sessions and videos on there.
This is fantastic. You're so talented. I love this, and I look forward to seeing how we can collaborate together. So
Yes.
there you go, everyone. This is the mid-month meeting of the minds with Dr. Churuba Prabakar, and I'm Dr. Swati Shah of PlansConnect, and she is the fibroid doc providing boutique gynecology services at La Morinda Clinic,
Gynecology.
correct?
Yep. La
Yep.
Marinda Gynecology. Yep.
Yep. So everybody look out. Watch out, world. Here comes some amazing superstars. All right.
Yeah.
We're going to sign off now. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And till next month.
Thank you.